Hey, crime fans!
Join us October 9th through 11th at
Crime Story Fest.
Crime Story Fest.
Crime Story Fest
At the Doubletree Hilton on Boston's North Shore, Danvers, Massachusetts location.
Crime Story Fest, all things crime and mystery festival.
Come visit us at Crime Story Fest.
What else you got going on? What, you gonna watch another documentary on Netflix? Come on down to Crime Story Fest. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Meet some of your favorite podcasters, authors, experts. This October, Boston, be there.
Hi, and welcome to Danny After Dark. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a notification or an episode. Tonight is the weekly True Crime and Chill, and joining me tonight is Mr. Beckham. Beckham, how are you?
Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Good to see you. So I just played the new video for Crime Story Fest that just came out today. So
Yeah,
very
I just came on and heard it. Yeah, it was nicely put together, man. It's good.
Yeah, I did not put it together. I'll tell you that because I don't know how to edit. But the powers that be sent it to me. So you got a little bit of a taste of a few people that will be there. There will be so many more, including, of course, Beckham. So for all you Beckham fans, even if there's just one of you, head on over to Crime Street Fest in October. But Paul, shameless plug, you guys. Shout out to Paul from the Paulcast, because he came out of retirement to join me the other night with Anthony DiMaria and Marshall Terrell. So if you missed that was part 3 of JC Brings Cutting to the Truth. I mean, the biggest shout out to Anthony and Marshall for being so extremely generous in their time to come to do 3 interviews for their book and just to get everything across that needs to be about Jay and his story. So big shout out. So if you missed either part 1, 2, or 3, go back and check it out. Or you know what? If you've already seen all 3, go back and check it out again. We talked about a lot of great information. So go back and check that out. And in honor of bringing Paul out from retirement, shout out to, if you are an old school Paulcast fan, and when I say old school, meaning before there was even a Manson Saga discussion panel, then you know Paul would go live early in the morning and play music. And I am such a huge Gojira fan. And I'd always ask Paul to play Gojira, and he wouldn't do it. So I saw this shirt when I was at a cat cafe recently, and I was like, oh my God. So I just want to give a shout out to this shirt. Cat Jira. So yes, I had to. And yes, huge Gojira fan. Huge. So that is my little shirt I'm rocking tonight, along with the pink earrings that go for my girl Jules. So yeah, my podcast friend Jules, I'm wearing her Networks earrings here. So all right. A lot of administrative stuff to plug, and then we'll get into what happened this week in true crime. And y'all, there's a lot. So again, Sebring, Jay Sebring Cutting to the Truth Part 3. Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, my girl Kylie from Prime Time Crime will be live here for an interview. I'm so excited to have her on. She is one of my group of podcast girlfriends, and I was able to meet her in person at CrimeCon, and she's, oh my God, I'm obsessed with Kylie, She is one of those friends that if you have been to CrimeCon and you know that every, Beckham, like hour and a half, there's like a different panel in a different place, and it's just back to back to back to back. She's the one person that can somehow squeeze more hours into the day and be like, I attended every single thing.
I don't know, Danny. I was too busy working your booth.
Beckham, calm down. You were meeting the fans.
Oh.
They were taking your stickers in bulk. So calm down.
I wouldn't know about going to a show and lasting an hour and a half because I was working your booth.
I offered you many times to go.
Oh yeah, you did. You're like, hey, you let me know if you want to go to any of them.
And you know what, Beckham?
And I was like, no, I got fans to take care of. I got fans.
You got fans to take care of? What did you just say?
I got fans to like acknowledge. I'm got to be here for the fans.
Fans to acknowledge. Wow. Don't act like I wasn't a doll and bought you a coffee.
Yeah, I know. You did it a couple times.
I sure did. So anyway, Kylie will be here Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will be live. We will be talking about her podcast and just her in general. She is like a kick-ass amazing woman. Love her. So tune in for that. April will be the Beyond the Crime Convention, Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you are in the area the weekend of April 10th, 11th, 12th, get a pass. Go to Beyond the Crime. I will be there. I will have a booth there. I will be doing a live show there, so check that out. CrimeCon, end of May, Las Vegas. If you are in the area, check that out. Beckham will be there, of course, to, what does he say? Acknowledge his fans. So do that. You guys just saw the video for Crime Story Fest in October. So yeah, October.
Come on over and play some blackjack with us.
I don't play blackjack, but by all means, play with Beckham. I go to the one last kitty glitter slot machine at the Cosmopolitan.
So what do you do? The slot machines?
The kitty glitter one, I sure do. There's only one left in Vegas. It's at the Cosmopolitan. You'll find me there.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Man, the Cosmo is actually, that's a nice place. We stayed there.
It is. Yeah.
There
used to be kitty glitters in like every hotel, and they got rid of them.
It's for it's the younger crowd that go to there because of the Cosmo.
You know what? Well, the younger crowd needs to get with it because kitty glitter is really important. So yeah, love that. It's my favorite slot machine. And then lastly, book club. Book club will be the last Tuesday of the month this month because I will be doing an interview on Thursday night, the end of the month. So we had to just push it 2 days earlier. So if you are not already reading The Spider by Barry Levin, check that out and make sure you are reading it. Or if you want to tune in to hear my review of it, please do so. I am about 2/3 done, I want to say. Y'all, it's a read. But I'm really excited to talk about that. And again, other than that, all the social media handles are down below: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the merch. If you want to get yourself some Danny After Dark merch or Beckham merch, a sticker, a candle.
Hell yeah, man.
Please
do it. It'll make you feel good.
And then bring it to CrimeCon, and when he acknowledges you,
and I'll sign it.
Sign it
for sure.
There you go.
Hang with me at the lobby bar. Where's Beckham? The lobby bar. Where's Beckham? The lobby bar. Where's Beckham? The pool.
So he'll be everywhere but CrimeCon. Even though he bought the pass, he'll be everywhere but.
I know. I'm like, I don't know, man. This sounds better. I'm gonna go over here. Tell me all about it at dinner, Danny. You and Shelly. Be like, y'all tell me about it later.
All right. So a bunch of you already here in the chat, ready to go. So PJ Wolf, hello. James Watson, you know what? I know no other way. This better be good. I don't know what to tell you. I have my own feelings on that, but I'll keep that to myself. Paulcast, of course, in the chat. K-Dog, old school, right?
Hey, if I'm a little bit distracted, it's because I have keeping track of a possible police raid tonight. So if
I
that's why
saw
I'm all,
your
that's,
message.
yeah. So that's why I'm kind of going back and forth. So just bear with us tonight a little bit.
Okay. And if you're wondering what Beckham's referring to, we of course will be talking about Nancy Guthrie. Beckham will be taking the lead on that tonight. There's a lot, and as much as there's a ton that has been coming out, but then there's also a lot that isn't. We'll get into that. We're going to do that at the end because I think, yeah, we all have been following that, and there's a lot to talk about.
Now, if all hell breaks loose and something goes down, I don't know. I might have to I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's possible, but just hold on to your horses, y'all.
Y'all. Tony Stewart, hello. Let's see. Yeah, James Watson, working your booth. Danny, do a Bigfoot show. I did. It was the other night. Paulcast was on. Did you miss that?
What's up, Spalding?
Brian Ahern, welcome. She does shows from New Mexico. Yes, I will be. Let's see. Tish, hello. I know. It's so funny because I'm always just like, oh, I don't do anything. And then when I look at my schedule, I'm like, oh, I guess I do. But
you had an easy day before a holiday. Get out of town, dude.
I work.
You're like, I'm like, Danny, I'm trying to help the world. I'm busy.
You're trying to help the world.
Get going.
You hear that, folks? He's trying to help the world.
I have work to do.
Thank you, Tish. I'm not sure how I feel. I'm not adjusting to my natural hair color. Each day that passes, I'm like, what did I do? We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, does it still does the color come out still?
No. It's,
okay.
I'm just I think I did the blonde for so long that I'm just I feel like an imposter right now.
Who is that in the mirror?
I know. I legit catch myself and I'm like, what? We'll see. Worst comes to worst, I freak out and I'm like, no, I need my blonde back. Captain Spalding. That's not how you spell my name, Beers. I've known you long enough. So I'm just saying, that's a 20-hour answer. That's a 20-hour answer. Thank you. Much better.
Had a very successful case that was finalized last Friday. So I was really proud of myself.
Good for you. Dye your hair red. I've done red. Not just the washout color.
Dude,
I've done red. I've done purple.
You should have done. I was just gonna say you should have done purple for CrimeCon. Everybody, all the women had I swear to God, y'all, every other woman had purple hair. Danny and Shelly are the only ones. Well, no, there was some of your friends that didn't have purple hair. But I think there might have been one, maybe.
Yeah,
right. I think one was a group at least. So anyway, at least Danny and Shelly and most of Danny's friend group, all the girls, most of them didn't, but seriously, they were the only ones that didn't have purple hair at CrimeCon.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
It was a thing. I don't know if it was a thing or something. Maybe it was on a Discord. Hey, everybody, let's wear purple hair to CrimeCon.
I liked when I had red. It was yeah, I do miss that, but it's it's such a pain to upkeep. But so I don't think I'd go through that again. But I loved when I had red hair. But yeah, been there, done that. James Watson, I'm giving you a star for that. Danny is, no, wrong one. Sorry. Nope. Where was it? This was the one. Beckham is trying to help the world one t-shirt at a time. That's the one. Danny isn't bad. She's just drawn that way. Yeah, that's pretty good too. Hey, Shelly, good to see you. Your boy was just talking about you. They're tracking this. I know Beckham is, where is it? Oh my God, the chat's going fast. Yes, Beckham is on it like right now, keeping an eye because we will be talking about this, but thank you for, letting us know. Yep. All right. Oh, K-Dog. I bet none of them were natural purple.
Dude, there was y'all. I'm telling you, every other woman besides Shelly and Kelly in the girls group, except one of them, they all had
and Kelly.
I'm sorry, Shelly and Danny had all purple hair.
Who the fuck is Kelly?
I don't know. It rhymed with Danny. I just said it. Shelly, Kelly, Danny, it all kind of came out together.
Okay. On that note, speaking with I don't even know. Let's just move on. All right. It pains me, excuse me, to talk about this man again because time went by.
Why do you put this guy on the damn on the document?
Because
all the time?
people,
I swear to God, every time I look at it early, right? Early, I'm like, what the mother? I'm like, Danny, really? I always see this motherfucker's name on it, or when I look at it early. That's why I don't ever look at it early.
Oh, okay, that's the reason.
That's the reason. Every time it's like this guy and the other guy. What's the other guy's name? That's that that I do the voice for.
Oh, Chad Daybell.
Yeah, those two are every time I've looked at the document, it's one of the other two. It's one of these two guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, here we go tonight. I gotta clear my voice.
And you just jinxed it. He'll be back next week, guarantee it. But
who's supposed to be watching his? Who's supposed to? Somebody in the chat is supposed to be keeping up with his website.
I thought it stopped. I thought last we heard it. So I'm not following it. So
somebody in the chat said they were going to follow his website. I forgot who it was.
I don't know.
Chad Daybell.
We're not talking about him tonight, but what we are talking about, or who we're talking about, I should say, Alex Murdaugh. Like, oh my gosh, I was living life just fine until he's back in the news. All right, no, K-Dog said he's on hold now. Okay, thank you. The world's a better place. So I only cover Alex Murdaugh for y'all. Honestly, that is one of those cases where I can't tell you how many people DM me about this case. And it's just like, I know you don't like it, but can you please can you please keep us up to? I will gladly. So what is going on with Alex Murdaugh right now? So his defense team was in court as he's appealing his double murder conviction, which again, that is his legal right to do. Alex, however, was not physically in court for this. Quick reminder, if you've never heard of the name Alex Murdaugh, he was a prominent attorney from a South Carolina, basically legal dynasty with his well-known, well-connected family going back a long time. And he was found guilty in the murder of his wife, Maggie, and 22-year-old son, Paul, back in June 2021. So now, Alex's attorneys are appealing his murder conviction and are arguing that he deserves a new trial. Based on Becky Hill, who was the court of clerk, her improper comments to the jury, what the defense is calling prejudicial evidence, and failures at trial in the investigation. The state has argued that Alex was convicted because the evidence against him was overwhelming and that he was, quote, obviously guilty, end quote. They did acknowledge that Becky Hill's comments were inappropriate, but it didn't impact the verdict. The South Carolina Supreme Court had 5 justices who are hearing this, and they asked both the defense and state a lot of questions. From what I gathered, kind of reading through what the questions were and the tone of it. I kind of got the vibe that they were leaning a lot in favor of the defense. That's just my personal opinion. Scares me, to be honest. We will see. The justices now are tasked with deciding whether to uphold the murder conviction or remand the case for further proceedings or overturn it and order a new trial. So there's those three options. There's no kind of set guideline as to when they have to make their decision. So for example, it's not like they have to have one within 30 days or whatnot. So with that being said, we just kind of now wait to hear what their decision is. I will certainly keep y'all posted about when they reach a decision in whatever that decision is.
Have you seen something like this happen? It's not often. I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of wild.
Get
actually.
up there, you
It's
know.
gonna get, you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna give Netflix and the documentary more views if it goes to a new trial and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, 100%. But the thing
Netflix is loving this for sure.
Alex, he did himself no favors in the first trial. So
Well, yeah,
if it
yeah.
has to go to a new trial, him
Yeah.
and his defense now know what not to do. So that scares me.
And Netflix is happy about it.
Oh, you bet they are. You bet they
I
are.
would if I was some sort of an executive or whatever, or a show caller, or all that kind of stuff.
I mean,
It'd be like-
Becky Hill, like,
Yeah,
she like, what the hell? Like, she's lost her job. You know, she made the comments, wrote a book, plagiarized other people's work, got caught for it.
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So in the end, what was this for? Now this man might have a new trial, like, because of you.
I mean, I've always thought that he probably, I don't know. I think he had hired somebody, but that was my feeling on it. Pulled it
Mhm.
off. He had a lot of connections. We covered this what 2 years ago or a year ago.
Yeah,
It's been a while now.
it's been a while.
But he definitely had a lot of influence. His family had influence in the town. He knew lots of people. He was, of course, wealthy. They had money, all that kind of stuff, man. So I don't know. It's just, to me, it was always, I think he was behind it. I'm not sure if he actually did it, but still, he was behind it. I mean, in my personal opinion, and I think it went the right way. But now you're like, if we're having to do it all over again, who's to say what's going to happen again?
Right. When something like this happens
I'd
again,
be pissed if I was the DA, the
prosecutor.
Yeah, the DA's office.
Yeah, you showed all your cards, and now the
Yeah.
defense knows. And people have been very outspoken since that, like, content creators, the media, of like what worked and what didn't work.
Oh
So
yeah.
now they know, hey, when we did this the first time, it didn't play well.
Right.
So they know what not to do.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So we will see. I will keep y'all posted, even though it makes
No
that-
remorse,
and
right?
myself-
I don't even-
and myself not happy to talk about this man. We will do it.
Was he even remorseful?
That's a good question.
I wasn't really like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, his whole family's been destroyed.
I think depending on what side you're on, you would say yes, he was, or no, he wasn't, or maybe he was remorseful for himself.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just right, but I'm talking about his family was completely destroyed.
Oh yeah,
for that purpose. I don't think he showed that the right. Is there really a right? I mean, you can always. Some people are going to argue, well, people show emotion different. I get it, but like, man, your whole family was destroyed.
yeah,
I mean, like, I don't know. It was just very odd to me.
yeah. No, agreed. Absolutely. Hey, Kane, sneak it in there. Hope you're doing
Not
good.
Illustrate
Kane,
the
I
right
met up
behavior.
with the Liz recently, and we grabbed coffee, and me and her both independently ordered the same drink, and I actually thought of you. It was an iced salted caramel white mocha latte.
Everything sounds good, but the caramel.
Well, I liked it. It was like dangerously good.
That
Yeah,
green Starbucks drink is dangerously good. I still haven't even drank it except for now in LA.
I have not had it in months and months and months and months and
Oh,
months.
was it? You know what I'm talking about? The one you told me about, or you had me try the green one?
That's their matcha.
There you go.
The green matcha with either chocolate cold foam or vanilla cold foam. It was one of the two. But yeah, anyway, Kane, I totally was like, I have to remember to mention this on the show. But I did invite the Liz on tonight. So depending on her schedule, she may or may not pop in. We'll see, mom life. So, all right. That is that for Alex Murdaugh. The next case, Juliana Magalese. So we talked about last week, remember, Beckham, the au pair murder. Brendan Banfield was found guilty of the February 2023 deaths of his wife, Christine Banfield, and then Joseph Ryan, who was the one they kind of ployed online through that fetish website. So he was found guilty, and now we were waiting on Juliana Magalese, the au pair, because yes, she did cooperate with investigators eventually, and we'll kind of get through a timeline of her because we focused last week more so on Brandon. Juliana is from Brazil, and she was hired by the family to be the au pair for the family. Ended up having an affair with Brandon, and then her and Brandon concocted this "let's murder Christine so we can be together" type of thing, because it always works that way, right? Can I just say, Beckham, on a side note, if I'm looking too into this, please let me know. I don't understand. Well, I don't understand the rationale, but I really don't understand the rationale where it's like, hey, I'm with this guy who is having an affair. So we're going to concoct a plan to kill his wife so we can be together. What makes you think that 5-10 years down the road, when he has found somebody else, he's not going to do the same?
It's tired of you. I get it. Yeah, it comes back around. It usually comes back around.
Like, what he's capable of.
Karma comes back around. It always comes. And we're not even talking about murder. I'm talking about like relationships where they were founded based on they met at work or school or something, and they cheated, and then they're together. It always comes back around. It's just a circle, man. But
I
yeah,
know this is an extreme example, but you know what I mean?
Right. Yes. I don't know, man. Sometimes people just do it for the chase, do it for the excitement. We could have a whole show about that, but I mean, have they made a TV show about this case or a movie?
There's a documentary.
It's kind of crazy interesting. I mean, it's an interesting case because you have multiple levels of emotional, like you have the emotional like distrust, you have like trying to like manipulation, you have sexual content. I mean, it's a crazy, it would be a crazy TV show. That's what I was sitting there thinking. That has ethics claim the rights to this case.
One of the things that we didn't talk about last week, because I just tried to give like the in a nutshell about
for HBO.
But shout out to Red Handed Podcast. They put out a great episode about it. And when they were covering it and they mentioned this, I was like, oh my God, I read this and I should have said it when we talked about it last week. So we'll get to Juliana in a second. But Brendan, of course, he has a very different take on like, I didn't do this, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, in his own head, his defense, right? In his own head.
Right. When he took the stand, which was so stupid, he said his story was, I had to leave the house early because I had an important meeting at work. That was what he said on the stand. As we know, based on security, camera footage, he did not go to work. He went to a local McDonald's and basically waited for that phone call. But the damning thing is, and I'm kicking myself that we didn't talk about it last week. The very last minute after Brendan took the stand, the state brought in a last minute witness, which the defense was like, wait, what? It was Brendan's boss. because he's on the stand saying, Brendan saying,
Oh
oh
my
yeah, I had a
God.
meeting. I had to go to work.
Sure.
That's why I was out of the house. The boss took the stand and said, that was a lie. There was no meeting scheduled. Not only that, most of upper management was on vacation, so there was no one in the office.
Don't they have don't companies have tracking mechanisms? They track their employees if they're being monitored for work. Whether you're working
I think it
home.
depends on the job.
You could pull that information. Everybody has something of that, has that resource available.
All right,
Like whether you're working from home or you're actually working at an office. I think a lot of companies have moved forward. Would you say this was 2023? Maybe not. It is now. It's been implemented now. Everybody and their mom has a tracking thing on your laptop, whether it's private sector or government.
Well, he worked because now he's in jail.
Well, but this was
For the
2022,
IRS.
2023, right? They weren't tracking that back then. They were not.
But he's on.
I can tell you right
at
now,
a McDonald's, like a local McDonald's. But again, if you're gonna lie, be better. To take the stand and say, "Oh yeah, I had a meeting with my boss that day," and blah blah blah, and then your boss hears you say that on the stand. The boss reached out to the state. He personally reached out.
Wait, do you say he worked for the IRS?
He worked for the IRS
at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would have been difficult to get the information if he was unionized. If it was a union and they would have protected probably his information. That right now is actually going through all the political stuff right now on how protected government employees are anymore going forward. But back then, it would have definitely. Now I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure there was something to track his time. If I'm just saying, if they had to pull it, they would have been able to. However, it might have been a challenge to get the information from the employer because of any unionization with the government. It would have been difficult at that time. Sorry.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming the building that they worked at also had security footage. So for him to say, I was at the office.
Right.
One, that's a lie. But for the boss to reach out to the state and be like, wait a minute, that's not true. Like,
yeah.
Damning. Oh, man.
No, I don't work for the IRS.
Back on human IRS ancient. All right, so let's get back to Juliana. So
I do pay my taxes, though.
Jesus. So she was, she cooperated with the state for a considered either reduced sentence or basically an immunity, just to be deported to go back to Brazil. So everything was up in the air. It was not an agreement that was definite. It was, we will take this into consideration, you cooperating. So Juliana's role, and then what happened, the decision came down today. So Juliana's role on the day of the murders. So she not only was the one that called 911, but she called at least 3 times, hanging up twice before reporting the emergency on the third call. In between the first and second call, in the third, there was a decent amount of time. So take that into account. Brendan then spoke into the phone and said he shot a man because that man stabbed his wife. So
this is so crazy, man. This is nuts. This is insane.
Mm-hmm. Juliana was arrested in October of 2023 for the death of Joseph Ryan, not Christine Banfield, but Joseph Ryan. In November 2023, so just a month later, she pled guilty to manslaughter in the death of Joseph Ryan, and again, decided to cooperate with law enforcement. She testified that this entire plan was devised by Brendan to avoid a divorce with Christine. So today, Juliana was sentenced to 10 years in prison. She was given the maximum. And the judge said...
That's the max, though?
That's the max. Virginia.
I'm sorry. I was going to... Oh, God.
Virginia.
Oh, God. They have a new governor. Do you know that?
No.
They have. I don't know how. I don't know how fast the laws can change. The new governor was just elected, like last month, and they just wiped everything out, and a lot of leniency with breaking the law. Let's just say that.
So it's like Canada.
So it's like, oh wow, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people feel it's 10 years is enough for a life. I don't
I
know.
don't. But
Yeah,
listen
they
to what
wiped
judge
they
said.
wiped the slate, man. I'm telling you, like last month. But I don't know how fast that transition happens with laws, right? I
Right.
don't know if it's like immediately when the governor signs it the next
I don't think
day.
so.
I don't know about that, but yeah, so 10 years seems kind of like I thought it would have been more, but okay. I mean,
So the judge said to her, quote, "You do not deserve anything other than incarceration and a life of reflection. May it weigh heavily on your soul," end quote.
dead wax.
So the judge wasn't playing around. I know I'm behind in the chat. Dead wax?
Dead
Oh
wax
my
is in
God.
the yeah. What's up, man?
Good to see you, hon.
Good to see
How
you,
are
buddy.
you doing? And
Great
Karen
to call,
Diamond,
Dead
I
Wax.
saw you sneak in the chat. Hello.
Well,
Hope you're
hello.
doing good.
Hey, all the positive, salute you, Dead Wax.
Let's see where you guys are in the chat. Lifetime will. Oh, do like a documentary on this or something? Oh,
Yeah. This case is this. I'm talking like Netflix, not Netflix, HBO or FX. FX hits like the maturity level. Like they kind of, they kind of reach that space a little bit.
But this does have the making of a Lifetime movie too. I will say. I agree.
Really?
with
You
that.
think? Oh, because of what? The love angle?
Yeah,
I'm
anytime there's
alive.
that. But they'll make it like they'll really draw out the like Brendan and Juliana.
Oh, they'll do the whole love thing more than the actual crime.
After your last show where you talked about au pairs, I looked into hiring one, but they prefer you have kids.
Jeez.
See, I actually wouldn't be surprised if you did look into that.
He probably did. So, James, man, I don't know. I don't even know what you would need to be able to handle James's search engine.
Oh my God. I bet the IRS, not the IRS, sorry. I bet the FBI checks his searches every single day.
He's Canadian. What are you talking about? Maybe the Mounties do it.
Oh, the Mount. That's right.
Hey, I'm in Canada. You can't come get me where it's cold and snowy all the time.
Tony Stewart, talking about cases, a close friend of mine just got out of prison on a manslaughter charge. He did something like 10, 12 years, going to visit him and his wife in Florida soon. Interesting. I have a million questions, Tony
Dude,
Stewart.
you see, look at that. Manslaughter charge, 10 to 12 years for that. I'm telling you, man, Virginia just lowered their standards with criminals.
Well, Tony Stewart, are you able, without doxing anything, are you able to say what state that was in? Because I'm just curious if it, it's kind of consistent. Dead wax all's good. Good. Let's see. Goodness. So yeah, that is what's going on with Juliana. Of course, she has the right to appeal, just like Brendan Banfield has the right to appeal. But for right now, they have both been found guilty in both. Well, she was sentenced, but his sentencing will be coming up, I believe, in May. So we'll keep you posted on that. Florida. Okay. Well, Tony Stewart, Florida. I'm surprised he didn't just walk away. Oh, God, that's another thing. Florida, I can't do that. All right. So next case. So 2 more on the docket tonight. So it's kind of like a light night in regards to the amount of information here. But the last one that Beckham will be leading, Nancy Guthrie, there's a lot to that. So kind of stay, we'll get to that one next. But okay, so Kelsey Fitzsimmons, we haven't really talked about this a ton here. I've been following this because it's central to where I live. I did post a video a few weeks ago when I happened to be at the courthouse that she is out of. And I did post a little video that I took myself when we were outside when she and her attorneys came and spoke. But just to give you guys a little bit of background, if you are not familiar with this case, this is one where honestly, I'm like, Y'all should follow this. And Beckham, I'm looking at you too specifically because this involves law enforcement as well. So Kelsey Fitzsimmons, she was back in court this week. So quick background, she is charged with a single count of assault with a dangerous weapon after she allegedly pointed a gun at a colleague from the North Andover Police Department. So she is a cop herself. She was at her home. She was being served with a restraining order by the father of her child. So there's a big debate of what she did or did not do that warranted.
Wait, so she is a police officer.
Yes.
Why would she do that?
Good question. Law enforcement saying those there are saying one thing, she's saying something different, but she was shot and she was injured. And the way that
Did she have like I'm sure she was wearing her vest, I'm assuming?
No, she was just served at her home.
Oh, wow.
Her partner was one of the ones that came to serve her.
Okay. I was like, wait.
The way it went down, the way law enforcement did it, it was really not handled well. How she was even served that. There's a lot of rabbit holes to go down with this. Some people are very straightforward with it of, there's a lot to look at. So I'm just giving you guys the briefest little thing here. So Kelsey was shot in the chest. She was obviously put in jail. She was taken away from her dog, like her child. It's horrible. So what she said through her attorneys was that she was suffering from postpartum depression and she raised the gun to hurt herself and to not threaten anyone else.
Wow.
So keep that in mind. But again, I think both sides, whether you agree with Kelsey or not, it's kind of like Karen Reed. You're either on one side or the other.
What made the police officer that shot her draw?
I mean, there's a lot of different narratives. Again, Kelsey saying the gun was raised to harm herself, not law enforcement. My personal opinion is the way they came and served her was not appropriate and it escalated to create this situation. In my opinion.
I've seen some battles for kids go crazy, man. They can go left really quick.
But she just had a baby. Like, it's not like, hey, this is my 10-year-old kid. Like, she just had the child and was going through postpartum. So it's like such a big time in that. There's lost time now with her child. She's never going to get back. But in regards to why she was in the news this week, so her defense attorneys were asking that the judge assigned to her case recuse herself. The case was originally assigned to Judge Thomas Dreschler, but the hearings more recently have been before Judge Kathleen McCarthy Nyman. So Judge McCarthy Nyman, who is the one that the defense says she needs to recuse herself from this. They're saying, quote, without notice to the parties or the public, it appears she has specially assigned herself to this case. The assignment seems inexplicable on the merits of the case and raises questions about the motive of the court as to undermine the public's confidence in the outgoing adjudication, end quote. So Attorney Bradel, who is one of the attorneys representing Kelsey Fitzsimmons, said that Judge McCarthy Nyman has presided over cases that has shown her biased in both her demeanor and her actions. For example, Attorney Bradel wrote, in one hearing, the judge, quote, made a subjective personal finding that Miss Fitzsimmons is a dangerous person, end quote. He also stated that Judge McCarthy Nyman wrote an order explicitly forbidding Kelsey from seeing her infant child, regardless of any determinations made in family court. That's a big deal. Last September, Judge McCarthy Nyman learned that there had been no violations since Kelsey had been out on bond. However, the next day, that judge revoked Kelsey's bail and remanded her to custody. So regardless of what has been going on, just basically calling her own shots. So this was where my notes stood. And then yesterday we learned that the judge is actually recusing herself. She is the one that stepped back and said she's not available anyway. And I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean not available anyway? You put yourself on this. Like, a lot of sketchiness going on behind the scenes with that, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, the judge is recused. So that is a good step for the defense and for Kelsey. Again, this is a case, there's a lot to it. I will keep you guys updated on this, but I would suggest kind of in the meantime, if you kind of want to go down a little bit of that rabbit hole,
It's wild
do so.
how she survived the gunshot to the chest. I mean, without a vest, but
Yeah.
I can see it, you know, them serving her or whatever, and it getting argument ensuing, that kind of threatening, you know, threats being made, whatever.
Yeah.
I can see that actually happening easily over a child. I mean, over a child, you know. So
there is a little bit of footage too. There is a little bit of footage that you guys can find online.
So are you on the stance? So are you? Have you seen the footage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's like I said, it's really hard to talk about if you don't have any. If you've never ever held a gun, 2, loaded the gun and shot the gun, and 3, if you've ever been in that situation as a police officer with domestic issues. And even if that is a police officer that you were talking to, it's very hard to have an opinion. I mean, I'm sorry, it's very easy to have an opinion without understanding the circumstance with experience. So yeah, it's going to be one of those tough situations to deal with for sure.
This will be a messy trial. It's going to be very messy because we basically have cop against cop.
Yeah. So. And like I said, I can see it to the point to where they're having the police are doing their job. And of course you're engaging with a emotional mother about a case where a child's involved. You know, all that kind of stuff can just boil over. So it's almost like they should have done it. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, I can't say because, you know, but you would think that you would have had a better understanding knowing the situation before you're going in that kind of situation, before it escalated, that kind of thing, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. So there's it seems very, you know, like you said, odd and weird and that kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. And the judge is completely walking out.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to be in the middle. I don't know.
No, I think it's
not
more
that. Okay.
that this judge that has been accused of having a bias, instead of admitting that, you know, yes, I have showed bias, or when I was just like, oh, well, yeah, I'm stepping back. I'm not available anyway. It's like, wait a minute, you pretty much put yourself on this. And then when you got called out on a lot of bad calls you made, I don't know. It's just not as cut and dry as I think it's being made to seem. But that's that. So we do have Selena in the background here on the cat tower. So she is grooming. So I can hear it. I'm not sure if it's being picked up on the microphone, but just
real quick, there was a little bit of movement with the Guthrie situation. It seems that there is a standstill. Man, media, everybody's just going crazy over this. Even if police are making a move, it is going to be challenging with that because there's media and people interested, and it's just crazy.
Let's jump into this right now. So Beckham,
I don't know. I'm sorry. I was just giving the update because I thought we had one more case to go into.
No, that was it.
Oh, that was it. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wait, let me double check. Make sure I didn't miss anything.
I just thought we had another one.
Yeah, no, that's it. So yeah, Beckham, what's going on now? What's happened this week? Let's chat.
Right now, there was a rumor. You know, of course, police have police radio. These YouTubers, everybody following the case. There's got major media people have been there the whole time reporting. Right, whenever something happens. Currently, there was a rumor or something got out of a possible, you know, SWAT raid a bomb squad at a specific address, location, that kind of thing. So that's been going on for like about an hour, hour and a half, maybe. Everybody and their mom is on standby. And I'm just talking about the people that are interested. Like I said, the news media reporters are there. Some of your big channels are there. Everybody's wanting to break the story. YouTubers are there. The YouTubers that have like thousands of followers are boots on the ground reporting. So it's just been one of those days where they were trying to get clarity on a lot of information. I'll get to that here in a second. They were trying to basically today was trying to get clarity on where the investigation, what's been going on, and where it's headed. That was today. Then late this afternoon, there was the report of a possible arrest and raid and all that kind of stuff. So that's where it's at right now. Everybody's just really loose, ready to for something to happen. I'm not, who's with the sheriff's department and FBI, who knows how it's going to transpire if indeed they make an arrest down, whether it's tonight in the morning when everybody's sleeping. I don't know, So, but anyway, let's get back to what's been going on real quick. So today is the 13th day of the investigation. It's been like 13 days. So that's a long time.
Yeah.
Of course, Miss Nancy Guthrie, she's 84 years old. She has to take heart meds daily. Last week when you and I talked, that was 7 days, 8 days,
Mm-hmm.
it's been right or whatever. So I was last week, I was like, man, maybe she could go without her meds for like 3 to 4. I mean, realistically, maybe 2 to 4 days. I actually know people, elderly, that they need that heart medicine. They cannot be without it. I mean, if they go out of town and they forget it, there's a number they call, and there's an emergency that they can go to their local drugstore, CVS, Walgreens, and get it. Right? I mean, it's that important. It is that important. That's what I'm saying. So, I just can't see her being this long without her medication and other, issues that, so without somebody caring for her. So, that comes, that biggest question, what does she do? The people the people that took her, do they have somebody, we talked about this last week, do they have somebody standby taking care of her, doing whatever it needs to be done so that she is safe while this thing is ongoing, right?
But for 13 days.
I know. I don't. Hey, everybody's just trying to stay positive about it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody's been keeping up. Today, it was officially, it was the FBI. They came forward with a suspect description. It was released by the FBI. That the gentleman that you saw on the camera earlier in the week, right, with the pictures and the video and all that kind of stuff that broke, that he's approximately a male, 5'9" to 5'10", average build, and he was, wearing the black 25-liter Ozark Trail hike backpack that was full to the max. What was in that backpack? It was packed out. I mean, there was stuff in it, right? Like they were prepared for something. And of course, the images and everything, was shared earlier this week, right? Yeah. Now, I believe yesterday, I guess there was DNA evidence that was collected on the property, or this morning, either last night or this morning. I know that, man, they've been going back and forth. The sheriff's department's been going back and forth. And I guess last week, remember we talked about that the FBI had, that's what I had heard. The FBI had told the sheriff's department to stand down, right? The sheriff has not even been to the crime scene at all. He hasn't even been to the crime at all. And then, of course, he was seen at the basketball game Friday night or Saturday night. One of those. I think it might have been the night we did this. It was Friday.
It was Friday, so Saturday.
After we got Saturday, one of those nights. Anyway, so last week, we talked about it. The FBI told him to stand down. I thought they were done, but apparently, as the weekend was coming around, that we're into the week. I was like, man, the sheriff's deputies are still going back and forth. I was like, well, wait a minute, maybe they're using them as resources still, and they are. All week I've been hearing experts and people retired FBI, retired deputies, retired detectives, everybody talking about it, that they're pretty much are still working together. So it hasn't just been one agency. So
Can I just jump in quickly back
yeah,
on?
go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So Cheryl McCullum from the Zone 7 podcast did a really good episode with a panel that just released the other day about this case. I suggest everybody listen to it. I'm not just giving her the plug because she's my friend. It's really, really good, and they lay everything out. And her and her network of people who were on this podcast have decades of experience. So that's one thing. Two, Beckham, there's two comments in the chat here. I want you to address. I mean, I could address it, but I think you would do a better job. The first one is, so Tony Stewart, and we talked about a little this last week, the FBI and the sheriff department are at odds over the evidence. And then K-Dog says, everybody has an off day, as in an off day at work. Beckham, would you like to take those two?
That not when you, I caught some of the stuff this week. Not when I get it. The right thing to do if you need a break. But remember, Danny,
it's all hands on deck.
Yes. I mean, you got to be professional. I disagree with that comment, or whoever put it out there. This is a major case in your jurisdiction. You are the lead. You are the sheriff, an elected position, right? And you can't do that, man. That's not professionalism, right? You can't do it. If you're gonna need a break, go home, take a nap, take a hot shower, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Go back. He hasn't even been to the case. He hasn't even been to the scene. We talked about that last week, and he had that crazy news conference where he basically said, "Look, we might have made some mistakes. I do apologize," and this and that. He did say that. He had like his presser was not. His name is Chris Nanos, is the current sheriff. Chris Nanos. Anyway, Sheriff Nanos just kind of had like a blow off presser. He really did, and they haven't had one since. There's no, FBI's put all their best people coming in. Now I did hear this week that both the Pima Sheriff's Department detectives are working alongside the FBI people and their teams and everything, right? They're all working together still. So we still don't know who has the lead. It's basically still up in the air. Now, Nanos came out, I think, today and said, well, he had to, because the part I was going to talk about here in a second, he had to make some sort of, comment to the media because, I do know professionalism. That's one thing I'm really good at. But and I'll get that to here. I'll get to that here in a second. Now, what was I going to go with? He had to come forward today and say something because of the evidence stuff, right? Just give me a second on that. But so he did say, we're working together. We have a great working relationship, blah, blah, blah. And that's nothing what's being reported.
I know.
So he came on and said, oh no, we're, my department, the FBI, we're all working together. We have the same goal, whatever he said, but you know what I mean, right? And that's not what was being reported all week. So he's either contradicting what's been said or he's lying. And if he's lying, what does that even say about his integrity? The one thing, Danny, that I've always talked about, integrity is very key to anything. Yourself, your work, whatever you have to show for yourself. Integrity is an important part of law enforcement, right? So anyway, so so DNA evidence was gathered on the property, and it's from somebody not of Guthrie or anybody in close contact with her. Now, the evidence was sent to the two labs, right? One or labs, like I believe in a private lab, one in Florida. And it might have been like a glove. I'm not sure if it was the glove or a DNA sample. And of course, that kind of put out there that, what are you doing? Why didn't you send it to the Why didn't you hand it over to the FBI? They could have sent it to Conoco. They could have had their people look at it, right? Why did you have to send it to a independent lab in Florida? who probably doesn't have the same technology that the FBI does. Why wouldn't you do that? Nanos replied, well, I wanted to send one to the FBI and one to Florida so that way they could do their own tests. Each lab could do their own testing and then they could collaborate together and put it together. That makes no sense whatsoever. He literally said that today. He made that statement today.
Ugh.
Why would you not? Of course, the federal agency is like that is going to have the better resources and technology, right? I mean, the FBI with of course the DNA stuff. They have the CODIS system. That's the FBI DNA database. That, I mean, if you've, I'm in it. I've been in it since I've been in banking, just with my fingerprints. When I had to, when I worked for the bank. So as long as you get they think it's your fingerprint, it's in that system, whether it's for work or whatever, you're going to be in that system. So I've been in it for a long time, since my early career in banking. So
yeah, that was like 50, 60 years ago.
That was like 70 years ago. That's right. But yeah, so that, I mean, I don't know what anybody thinks about that. Is anybody in the chat commenting about that particular issue about the DNA being sent to different labs?
Yeah, Tony Stewart said the sheriff sent the evidence to Florida. The FBI wanted it sent to the FBI labs in Virginia.
Of course, Quantico, man. Yep. But anyway, and it was a key part. It was a key piece of evidence.
So, okay, Gold Seekers Adventures 9380. Welcome. Has a few comments. The sheriff is anti-federal government. That's the problem.
That's what I asked you earlier. I'll get to that. That'll come in my own personal opinion here in a little bit. I'm not
just
done
yet. A couple
other
quick points. Also saying it was DNA found in the house. Supposedly the sheriff said there was no glove found. That is the rumor.
That's correct. That was late today.
How come the sheriff is investigating the band member of the brother-in-law's band that has a tattoo running down his forearm too?
Yeah, all these are good questions. Well, yeah, I'll get to all that here in a second.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So so anyway, that happened. So Nanos had to make a statement because of all that, right? The ridicule for the sending it to the lab. So the FBI did increase the reward, leading to any information leading up to the location of Guthrie, a recovery or arrest, conviction of those involved. They upped it from 50,000 beginning of the week up to 100,000. Now they have received between, and I heard this number last night, and that's a lot, man. Dude, they have all their analysts just working around the clock. Analysts are 24. I mean, I'm not, some analysts are probably doing 10, 12 hours and then shifts, right? Because they're having to work between 13,000 and 30,000 tips in total. That was yesterday's number. I'm not sure about today. Now, man, there's as far as like any other activity, there's just been a lot of like surveillance footage being pulled. There was a person that was kind of detained, questioned earlier. I don't have his name, but that was on what, Wednesday night. I thought they would have made an arrest, one of those nights during this week. So they did. I believe he was a delivery person. They took his cell phone, his whole family's, his mother-in-law. They took everybody's cell phone. They took the mother-in-law's cell phone. They scanned him. I'm pretty sure they scanned him for any potential evidence, but he was cleared the next morning and released.
Yeah, his name Carlos Palazuelos.
There you go. He was released the next morning, and of course they had nothing to do. Of course, no ties there. So now. Let's see. Again, the investigation is active. Let me look and see right now. They're still waiting on a potential police movement. There's nothing going on right now with that still. But so now we know, right, that both the Pima County Sheriff's Office and the FBI are together in this. They're working off of each other, even though the sheriff believes not to send an actual DNA sample to the best of the best, rather than some independent company probably further away. But there's a lot. So I talked about this last week, and I remember, I gave training on this about interagency diplomacy of what I called it, right? So you have, and this is not new. I mean, it's been happening, Danny, for decades. Where the federal agency has issues with local law enforcement, so it's not new, right? It's not like, oh, this is brand new. It's happened before, but you still got to you have a 84-year-old miss little grandmother lady that's missing, and she's been missing for like 2 weeks, almost 14 days, right?
Mhm.
And you gotta put aside your egos. And I'm telling you, man, I know lots of people, especially law enforcement, they just don't know how to work with other people. It just, the way it is what it is. They don't, somehow the communication just doesn't happen. Egos get intertwined with that, and then you hit a wall, and they shut it down. And then you still have an objective, you still have a goal you have a goal, an end goal, and in this case, it's trying to bring somebody to justice, or trying to bring this grandmother home, a
Mhm.
very sick grandmother home. So that's where there's been some sort of and I believe there is a disconnect communication between both agencies, and you have
I agree.
and it's at the top. It's the lead the lead commands of both agencies that are not being able to work together, because at the bottom you have, and hey, I'm not taking anything away from the Pima Sheriff's Department detectives and their deputies. They're working hard. I know that for a fact. They're working hard. They're working working with the FBI, the different forensics teams, agents that are trying to get information, all of that. But I think it's where you have the high command people that are where that communication is not being connected, so it's unfortunate. God, but we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. The Bitcoin thing. How is
Yeah.
and how is TMZ? Man, I'm telling you, last week I was like, remember remember how Bitcoin kind of crashed last week?
Mhm.
And it's still down. So I was like, apparently, like, they're requesting like one Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is between like $60,000 to $70,000 or something like that. So they're wanting, because there was movement in this Bitcoin account early on in the week, like this week. I keep thinking it's like it's like Monday, just Monday or Tuesday, right? That was the big story. Oh, there's movement. And it might have been, the FBI doing something there with a financial team that kind of messed with it, right? Saying, hey, let's just dump some money. Let's see if somebody goes and checks it out, kind of to see. And there was movement. And then like TMZ's gotten like like emails, letters. And how is TMZ becoming like I sent you a meme today about the TMZ is probably the one leading the investigations, as they're getting all the information.
I mean, it's so sad, but it's true.
Yeah. So whoever's communicating with TMZ, I think they've let on that they want it to be TMZ, so that they're not being taken. They don't believe they're being taken seriously. So they want the world to know that they're serious. That's what it is. So there was movement in the Bitcoin. The person's basically saying, give me some cash, because I need to be on the run in case, and if so that I can give you the information, you can make the arrest. I know who's doing it. I know who's behind it. And I need some money to be on the run. Basically, that's basically what they're wanting. Now, that's kind of odd to me, because the initial letter or whatever, communication was, hey, you got to give us the money, or we're going to, basically the old, TV show hostage situation about, hey, meet me at Pier 2 and bring cash and no police. Bring a suitcase of cash, and I'll hand you over the person. It's the old, like, and some of the people that have been, some of the retired people that actually have worked kidnapping cases. Of course, they're very, they're dangerous, man. Some of them have been successful. They have had to give money, but that's been more of an international thing, not in-house kind of, and so where they've been able to get the person back in exchange, but it's international. So, hey, as long as you get the person back safe, that's fine, right? So it's just been one of those with the whole exchange and hostage definition in this case. It's very odd from the get-go. This is just a very odd case from the get-go.
Yeah.
Communications very odd. Like, why would they first say the demand, right? The first demand was very explicit. Give me the
And it
money.
didn't happen until days later.
Right. And then there was a
That is rare.
timeline for those demand, the first demand, the second demand, third, right? And then now, like, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Well, I actually need some cash. So if I tell you who actually did it, I'm gonna be a snitch and I'm gonna be on the run. It makes like, didn't you have this? Wait a minute. Why are you saying you're going to give the information? Is there multiple people here involved? Because why are you talking about snitching and then wanting the Bitcoin to be on the run? It's because you're going to give up somebody when initially the first letter to had the first ransom or was requesting the explicit deadline about or else, right?
Yeah.
Or else. What happened to that energy? What happened to that, that stipulation? None of this. So professionals think that it's more than one person. It could be any man. I don't know. This is really just confusing. People that have actually worked these cases could think, some people have said, hey, it could be foreign. It could be domestic. It could be multiple people. It could be one person. It could be somebody that they know. But to end this, News Nation's Ashley, well, she retired, but we saw her at CrimeCon. We were just feet away from her at CrimeCon. She came on early on and said she had a viable source from a very credible source from up high in the FBI that told her who they were considering the suspect was originally. And she's still sticking by it. She said that today.
But did she say who that was?
Yeah, but I don't know if we can say who or not.
No, then that's fine.
Yeah, go. You can go research it and say, but she is still standing by that source and that information today. That originally what she said and who they were looking at, that is still the person of interest, potential suspect in this case. Somebody might have put it in the chat. That's all I'll say. Okay. I don't want to say it and get you.
No, that's fine. We talked a little bit. I mean, thank you, Beckham, for bringing us up to. I feel like every day, Beckham, me and you message about this, and it's like we learn one or two things, and then we don't have. It's almost like, okay, those one or two things we learned, now we're 50 steps behind, and this, like, it's weird. It's weird. We talked about a little bit last week, especially you really focused in on this, where things weren't handled initially from the get-go. We
talked about that. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, just 2 points that have really kind of stuck with me that I think really just need to bear repeating.
That scene was contaminated from the get-go, right?
Yeah. It was released to the family. So one of the things that was mentioned in Cheryl McCollum's podcast, episode 7, is they were saying that any evidence collected now will be argued in court and most likely will be successful getting tossed out.
Jesse Weber brought that up on Tuesday night on his own show. Yeah, because I think he has a law degree, I believe.
I don't know if he am,
and yeah, he came after it Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday night. He was like, the evidence. I'm gonna, he's leading his show. He's like, let's talk about the evidence. If there is any evidence, there could be issues down the road. Yeah. And of course, he went into that whole. He brought up a couple of guests and all that, and they talked about it. Yeah, Weber covered that earlier in the week. Yeah.
But also, the person who was on the camera who broke into the house was in that house for 41 minutes. That is not someone who is going in quickly to abduct someone. And they put the lights on in the house versus like bringing in a flashlight. So all of those things, like that doesn't ring true to somebody who's like trying to make a quick in and out, make an abduction and be on their way without getting caught, without being seen, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
There's nothing about this makes sense.
So real quick, let's just
go
the
ahead.
case was when they were casing the crime scene contaminated. The sheriff has not been there yet. I don't even think he's been there yet at all. Chris Nanos has not. I mean, I don't even think he's even made an appearance at the crime scene, where he is the leader of this law enforcement agency, the Pima Sheriff's Department. And the only reason he had to speak recently, which was today, was because of all the debauchery behind being called out on sending, possibly some DNA evidence to a lab in Florida, bypassing the top federal agency in the U.S. government for this type of thing, where they have everything already there, all the technology, the experience, all of that. And you send it somewhere else?
Yeah.
That's why he made a statement. He had to.
Any statements that the sheriff has made so far have been like, you're not looking good. Like, you're not looking good in all of this. There was one, Beckham, like earlier when this happened, like when first making the press conference, so I forget what the question was, but it was one of the media that asked a question, and his response was like, your guess is as good as mine. And it's like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, right. Yes. I mean, this is almost Proctor-like.
Well, the lead investigator didn't go to the crime scene initially.
And if whoever in the chat, we're talking about Trooper Proctor. We're talking about the Karen Reed, Trooper Proctor, all that stuff.
But no, how can you be the lead of
man.
the department and not go to the scene? That's like training 101.
There's no answer.
I will go on record and say I didn't want to say anything last week. Obviously, off camera. Me and Beckham.
Well, we have to be. I know. Even though we're just talking here, you got to be careful what you say still, and you got to be professional about it.
Yes, 100%, 100%. I've messaged with some of you guys. DM like, hey, did you hear this? Did you hear this? I will say, as this in regards to. Nothing about this makes sense. Not one thing makes sense. Every step that is taken is like, well, wait a minute, that's not how this typically works, so on and so forth. I'm being realistic, but remaining hopeful. The best case scenario is she is found and she is safe. Maybe there's a couple of bumps in the road in regards to recovering. But I would love nothing more than for her to be returned.
She had, if whatever the motive is or is for this, she's an 84-year-old little old lady.
I know.
Like, come on, man. Like, really? You know?
Which is why it's so.
She's got grandchildren for God's sakes.
No sense makes sense. But it's scary in regards to the reality of, like Beckham just said, an 84-year-old woman who is fragile, who is on medication.
I'm telling you, man, she can't fall. She can't fall because I'm telling you, we talked about this last week. Her bones are fragile. If she falls, she might have fell that night. She might have broken something. We don't know.
And we
talked about that last week.
Yeah. To be gone as long, like Beckham said, without medication this long, statistically, it's just.
I don't want to think about it statistically.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, she's, like I said, she's an elderly, very fragile old lady, a grandmother.
She did not deserve any of this. Not that anybody does, but like. What the heck?
Right. Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, if I'm Danny, I hope there's an outcome. I have a feeling this thing doesn't get resolved
In
and
this
becomes
day
a
and
cold
age,
case, it becomes a cold case.
I don't know. I mean, I know
That's what I was thinking about today.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 13 days. And the Guthrie family has made some posts on social media, and I know a lot of people have analyzed that and like picked every little thing apart. They're holding hands in one video, they're not in the other. Like even every single, I mean, obviously their wording, yes, they're working with law enforcement. So what they're saying, yes, is it from the heart? Yes, but is it also what law enforcement's saying? Make sure to say this or don't say this. Yes. But I mean, every word they say in that has been picked apart as well. And
don't blame the workers, the investigators, everybody from the deputies to the detectives to the FBI, the forensics team. Everybody's working hard. If you're gonna put blame on it, blame it on high command.
Very well said. Very well said. I still can't get over the fact that the sheriff's office released that scene. It blows my mind.
Yeah. Right now, I think they're still.
Yeah, what's going on live right
No,
now?
I mean it's just I think it's just still just waiting. I'm not sure. Nothing has happened or anything like that yet. So, we'll wait and see what happens. Overnight, morning, we'll see. It's raining right now there. It is. It's a pretty good pour down. So,
which that's not good for
no,
evidence.
I mean it makes it a little bit more difficult, that kind of thing. But
yeah,
you got professionals doing all this work.
Like, I'm being very hopeful, Beckham, in regards to law enforcement. Like, they don't have to come to the media and say, here's every little thing we know. Like, obviously they need to keep things close to the vest, but 13 days.
Well, the strategy was like the end of last week was, hey, let's get the people, let's get the public involved. We can get the public's help. Let's get the public involved. They did that, right? Like I told you earlier, anywhere from 13,000 to 30,000 leads. I'm telling you, analysts or the FBI have been working double overtime to work through all that.
Yeah, they have to go through everything.
So you're talking about lots of, there is a lot of resources being put into this case, man. A lot of man hours have been put, man/woman hours.
Yeah.
A lot. So I can't even imagine how much money's been spent for it. But I'm not. That's not. That's not the issue. But if you want to go there, it's a lot.
Right. I mean, yeah, Tony, sure. What if we get to March and no arrest?
That's what I was thinking about today. I was like, man, what if we don't have anything and this person just stops and it could become a cold case, and I don't know. They're trying. I mean, the cell phone thing that was done. That was probably early on when the FBI came on. Their forensics team came on. That was probably the first thing they did.
Yeah.
So then at the end of the week, they say, hey, look, the FBI came in like on a Wednesday, right? 2 days, well, however many days later, I guarantee you they went with the cell stuff. They went with the camera stuff. They went with, they're going to have to case the scene because it was, let's just call it what it is. It was probably contaminated right off the bat.
Yeah.
And so they had to start over and start the case. So, start everything over. Their team, their people. And then that's when they're like, man, look, we need the public's help. And then that's when they started, they ended a week ago. It was more of the public's help. Let's get this thing rolling. that kind of thing, those different strategies put forth. But I'm telling you, man, right off the bat, when the FBI landed and got involved, Ashley Banfield is sticking to her source and sticking to that as of today. Somebody put it in the chat so y'all can go figure out who it was put in there. That's who they're thinking it is, or has information about this case. But we don't know.
Yeah. I just my head and my mind goes in like a bunch of different directions with this case, and I'm hoping that for specifically for Nancy, but also for her family, we get, not we as in the public, because like who the fuck are we at the end of the day, but Nancy and her family get some type of answer soon. I want to say one way or another, but I don't, we'll just something.
You got to be able to work. I mean, and like these two, they got to work together, man.
Mm-hmm.
They have got to work together.
Yeah.
And they are. I mean, I think they are for the most part. Like I said, everything, the conflict is with high command. Because you can't say, Danny, I really like, hey, I think you need to do this. No, no, I don't. Yes, yeah, we need you to make this. We want to go with this strategy. We want to go in this direction. Well, I don't think you should go in that direction. I think you should go in this. I mean, it's just back and forth, and it's just butt heads. The guy sends the sample to he sent the thing to Florida. Come on, man. You're not pissed off. That would have made you feel you're the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what?
And it's
almost on a disrespectful, like, I would have been hot, dude. I would have been hot.
But especially if it's like, that's
like,
not
we're here to help you and your incompetence, motherfucker.
There it is.
You know what I mean?
There it is.
We're here to help you.
Yep.
You incompetent mother. You know what? Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Do people make mistakes? Yes. But mistake after mistake after mistake, that like valuable time is lost. Contaminated crime scene completely.
They're on the move.
Now.
They're speeding.
I'm sorry, but making an ass of yourself at a press conference. Like, the family, I can't even imagine like hearing that, being like, what the hell? Oh, like somebody asked a question, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Like, what? So,
dude, if I would have been close by that dude, and I found out that they sent the sample somewhere, I would have been pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been pissed off.
Like, has he not watched? I hate to be like, hey, watch it on TV. This is how it works. But when people can't make statements, they just say, I cannot answer that. This is an ongoing investigation. That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say to avoid any question you don't want to answer. But nope, not this sheriff. Nope.
I don't want to get into the politics of it, because that would be another show. The integrity of this guy, his past, the political thing. It was brought up in the chat earlier, but I don't want. I'm too tired. I'm not into that right now. That'd be a whole nother show. But I don't even want to bring that into the equation, because we have an old lady whose life is, they're trying.
Yeah. Hopefully there will be some type of real update and real progress in this case that we can discuss next week.
Yeah, good point. Hopefully by next week we've had it's done. An arrest was made. She's safe. That's what you're wanting.
That would be the best case scenario. So, yeah, everybody stay tuned on that. And I appreciate, so many of you guys, again, kind of a lot of back and forth with like messages in regards to, hey.
Yeah, there's movement, Gold Seeker. There's real movement now, Danny. Apparently. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. We will see. Well, hello, I don't know if you jumped in earlier and I missed you, but good to see you. I'm a cat. So yeah, we will keep you guys posted on that. Thank you, Beckham, for bringing everybody kind of up to speed with what's been going on this week, because like everybody's been talking about this, and it's, again, people, when I say talking, meaning just having questions. And Danny, do not give me any stars for any info I gave you. All good, Tony. All good. I just keep giving them to James Watson when he makes good shots against Beckham. So don't worry. All right. So yeah, Danny Paul sucks. See, star. So thank you everybody for joining us for this week's True Crime and Chill. I know we're kind of ending on a bit of a frustrated, sad note, but I think we all just kind of a lot of questions. And at the end of the day, like Beckham has said several times tonight, which is the most important thing at heart, we're talking about an 84-year-old woman, an 84-year-old grandmother who, regardless of any motive or
apparently the SWAT is outside. I don't know. It's possible they're close by. I'm not sure why they would be. I mean, I don't know what's being reported yet. We'll see. Just everybody, maybe something could happen tonight. We'll see.
So translation, I need to put my phone on silent tonight because chances are Beckham's gonna be like, Danny, at like 2 a.m.
No, I'm going to sleep tonight, and I'll wake up to, unless something happens like early evening, like then I'll watch. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, again, thank you for joining us for the True Crime and Chill tonight. Everybody have a good weekend. I will be back Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for an interview with Kylie from Prime Time Crime Podcast. So
yeah, Danny, real quick, happy Friday the 13th to everybody. Throw in one of them Jason movies if you want. Yeah. And happy Valentine's Day to Shelly, to everybody in a relationship. Be a Valentine and do it right tomorrow.
Oh, look at you. That was so sweet. Beckham, as your co-host, you could, be a doll and, send over a coffee my way or something like that. A little thank you for putting up with you, if you will.
Yeah.
But
thanks,
yeah, everybody.
Speaker, whoever you are, you added some really good stuff to the chat.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. And thank you for absolutely well said. I'm giving you a star for that. Thank you. And thank you for joining tonight. So see y'all on Monday. Everybody have a good weekend. And remember, until next time, we don't live in darkness. Darkness lives in us. Bye, everyone.